Welcome to No Wonder, the podcast that explores the wonders of womanhood. I am your host, Junie, and I'm thrilled to have Axelle today joining me. This is my very first interview on this show, and I couldn't be more excited to have an amazing guest like you. How are you today?
So thank you so much for your invitation. I love hearing podcasts, so it's so great. Thank you so much. And I'm pretty fine actually, a little bit tired, but it's day off, so it's okay for me. And you, how are you?
We love some day offs. I'm all right. I'm a bit nervous about this. It's my first interview. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, going to be great.
So, before we dive into our fascinating discussion that we briefly discussed before starting the interview, let's take a moment to get to know you.
Yeah.
Axelle and I, we first crossed paths in 2019, if I'm correct, through the Student Association Junior Entreprise Genève.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful that we are still in contact today.
Yeah.
So, thank you for making this possible. And I was thinking we could be delving into our legal system in Western countries and how it interacts with gender biases. But first, let's hear about your background.
Yeah, okay. So my name is Axel. My father is from Nigeria and my mother from Angola, but I was born in Geneva in Switzerland. And I'm Swiss and Nigerian. Okay, this is important for me.
Sure.
I studied law in Geneva, and I have a master in general law, master degree, and also a certificate in transnational law. And yes, as a student, I was a member of various associations such as the Law Students Association and the Junior Entreprise Genève, where I met you. And I am currently a trainee lawyer and at the Public Prosecutor's Office in Bern. And I would like to take to pass my bar exam. And at the same time, I took over my grandfather's NGO as a legacy, an NGO that defends the protection of human rights in Africa. So
That's so interesting.
yeah, I like the complex interactions between human beings or human beings and the states. So yeah, and finding solutions. So yeah, this is my background actually.
That is so interesting. Let's go back one step so that everybody's on the same page here. You said the bar exam. What is the bar?
Oh my God, how can I explain that? This is a good question. How can I explain that? What is the bar? The bar you need to. It's like a level, and in a professional level, and you have to have this degree. It's like a degree, I will say, but it's not really a good definition because it's really hard to explain that. But it's like, yeah, a professional level, and you need to have this if you want to practice as a judge, as a lawyer,
It's
attorney.
like a certification, let's say.
Exactly. Thank you. That's the
It's a
word.
certificate, like as if I was doing a certification in language of proficiency, you're doing a certification in I know the law.
Exactly. But it's also like an association because some how will I say that, attorneys have the bar exam, but they do not practice as a lawyer from the Swiss bar, for example. They
Okay.
are just a legal officer, but they do have the bar exam, so the bar certificate. So it's more than
Yes,
just a certification. So that's why it's really complicated to
for
explain.
sure.
This is a good question, actually.
And how would you describe the difference between attorneys and lawyers? Is there actually a difference between the two?
It's a language term, I will say. It doesn't
Okay.
exist in French.
Okay.
Lawyers, for example, maybe in USA, lawyers are legal officers, jurists.
Hmm.
But for us here, lawyers are attorneys. So it, it depends. It's just a word, a term, I will say. But
Okay.
in some countries, like maybe UK also, lawyers it's attorneys for us.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, lawyers are jurists for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They
Lawyers,
say,
attorneys, yes.
yeah, and they say attorneys or I think counselors also for lawyers for us. I don't know if it's clear. So lawyers are jurists, attorneys
Mm-hmm.
are avocat. Comme ça.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
perfect.
know if it's pretty
Makes sense.
clear, but yeah.
No, it's, I'm sure it will be clear.
So for me, I would say lawyers, attorneys, legal officer, just so everyone we are on the same page. Every country is on the
Exactly.
same page.
Exactly. And you said you participated in different students' associations. Are there any focal moments that you would like to share that you particularly enjoyed?
I think I enjoyed help others. We had, for example, some clients with the Junior Entreprise Genève. They wanted to start a new society and they needed help. So I loved, to help others to find solutions, to explain the law because it's not quite easy actually for people who didn't study a law. So yeah, it's helping others. I think that's what I enjoyed a lot, and also to be with other students from different areas, from different faculties. I will say different university programs. It was really interesting to learn from each other. So yeah, this is what I enjoyed.
Helping each other and learning from each other is something that you are still doing today with the NGO that you took from your grandfather, right? Can you
Yeah.
tell me more about it?
Oh my God, this is a real challenge for me, this NGO, because it's something really. We work with the UN actually. We have ECOSOC status. It's really special, but so we can participate to some debates, some interactions between governments, and it's really 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 interesting. But UN is another world, so we have to learn
For sure.
this world, and this was hard for me because my grandfather gave it to me, but it was like in the rush, I would say. So I didn't have time to learn from him, so I have to learn by myself or with some of collaborators. But yeah, it's not easy, but it's really really interesting, and we want to. I think I always have that, to I want to save the world. So yeah,
We love
I
a world saving queen.
So I try to do it with at my level, I will say, with this NGO to, yeah, just to say, okay, those things happen in Africa, and we are not okay with that. Things have to change. Women have to work. Women have to go to school. Children have to have a good education. So yeah, we want to find solutions, but it's sometimes I think we need more. It has to be more concrete, and I miss that sometimes with the NGO. So yeah,
Okay, I see. Could How long have you been involved in this NGO, and how are you feeling it like personally? Is it something that stresses you out, or is it more something that motivates you?
hmm, both I think. Yeah, it's stressing me sometimes because I like perfect things. I like when it's yeah, there is a good structure. So and I have it was last year actually. So it has been 1 year. 1 year. So yeah,
Okay,
it's still quite
congrats.
new for me, and also because I have this work with the public prosecutors on office in the public prosecutors office. So it's and the angel is in Geneva now. I live in Freiburg, but I work in Bern. So it's not easy.
The magic triangle of Axelle. Today, I would like to talk more about everything that it's legal and the legal system in our Western countries, in Switzerland. I think there are differences across countries, but there are also similarities.
Mhm.
And I think that your expertise and knowledge will undoubtedly enrich this conversation. So, without further ado, let's dive into the fascinating world of the gender biases within our legal system. Let's say it that way. As you know, I prepared a bunch of questions. I didn't send you all of them. We don't have to go through them all, but it's just to have a reference on what to do. But before going into the questions, I would like to hear your feelings and your thoughts of today's topic. Does it speak to you? What do you think?
It speaks to me, but it's not easy. It's really complicated. Um, but it is such an important subject. So, yeah, I really want to discuss with you because it will be a discussion, okay? But I do not have all the keys and solutions. And as I said to you, I'm a solution maker, so I love it. But for me, it's really hard because I don't have all the solutions. But we will see. We will see.
We'll try our best, but we don't expect you to give us all of the answers either, because
Okay.
we can't like I can't ask you to be the solution maker of such a huge problem. It's just to have some insights and
Yes.
maybe help people reflect on what's going on,
Mhm.
and hopefully they will also want to know more and research and try to understand.
Mhm.
That's the goal in general here with the podcast, is to
Absolutely.
try to inspire people to know more and to be more attentive and more caring of things that are going on in the world.
Mhm.
So I don't remember which was the first question that I proposed to you today, but I think I'll go with, in your opinion, what is the biggest issue that is facing women in the legal system today?
Okay, this is a difficult question because I don't believe that women in the legal system face any different problems than other women. But I feel that women have to prove more than men. They have to prove that they are intelligent, smart, able, and therefore have no rights to make mistakes. And the question is also difficult because um in the legal system there are several parties or several angles and levels. There are, for example, the authorities, judges, prosecutors. There are the um representatives or mediators, lawyers, attorneys, legal officers, and then there are the litigants, individuals. So, and in these three different levels in the legal system, if I haven't forgotten one, I find that women are all going through the same battles, you know. So you have to prove, you have to work harder and be stronger. And yeah, I think that's the biggest issue.
So you don't think that there might be some sort of biases also against women? It's just a matter of how people perceive them.
Yes, I think that's so. It depends. But maybe we will see with other, questions. But um, yeah, I think we all have the same problems as a woman in this patriarchy. Yes, it's good society. Sorry, I am a Nigerian, but I am a French speaker, so
No problem. No
my English
problem.
is so bad. But yeah,
My
that's
I'm Italian. I'm not an English speaker, so I have no problems.
but yes, from I cannot see. Yeah, all the women have to prove more than men, have to work more than men, I think. And yeah, it's not easy. You have your professional life and you have your life as a wife, for example, as a woman. When you go back home after a long day of work, you have a new life that begin. You have a new day that begin. You have to prepare your house so yeah, we have same struggles, all the women in every level in the society and in every level in the legal system.
For sure, you were just mentioning like the unpaid care work that women have to burden themselves off. Because if you think about it, there are statistics, as we saw maybe in the previous episode for my listeners that have listened, there are statistics that say that worldwide, globally, 19% of a man's day is dedicated to unpaid work. So, like lawning, gardening, whatever a man can do that it's for the care of the
Mm-hmm.
foyer, of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas statistically, women have 55% of their day that is taken into unpaid care work.
My God.
So it is something that is should really be considered in our lives day to day. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that necessarily we should be paid for those duties. It's not what it's
Mm-hmm.
saying. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying that just know that I have to do this also,
Man, the responsibility is heavy, so
Exactly. But have you ever witnessed some form of sexism or discrimination toward women in your day-to-day work? Have you ever have some experience that you can tell us?
actually, sorry, maybe you will be disappointed, but you will be deceived. But from now, no. And in fact, the section manager is a woman. The chief prosecutor is a woman. So what struck me more, I will say, was that the assistants and secretaries, for example, are all women. There are no men, which I thought was interesting. I was like, okay, why? It's interesting. But there are just as many female as male prosecutors, so it's pretty balanced. And I think I'm pretty well surrounded. And because I work in the public sector, maybe, so in criminal law, it's different. Maybe I will find something different when I work with a law firm in the private sector. But I will say, however, that there is a very strong trend. Women have a smaller presence in the field of business law when
Okay.
it comes to banking law, fiscal law, economic law, women are less present. That's true. So we see women, we see them more in civil law, family law, and so. And yeah, then I know that has this has given rise to a number of questions in the law industry. And for example, a man can easily face his ex-wife's female lawyer in divorce law, sorry, and a female judge, and be represented by a female lawyer. You see, so in that case, you might think it could be problematic, but I have no in my day-to-day work from now yet. I have no sexism or discrimination towards women in my work.
Honestly, you said I was gonna be disappointed, but I'm actually really happy that you haven't.
Oh my
Because
god!
it's always better if we are all fine.
Yeah, of course. My god!
Yeah, we know that we live for the drama, but if there's no drama, it's also good.
Yeah, that's why. Oh my god! Yeah. Mhm.
But since you were talking about women taking more space in certain type of law than others, this is perfectly coherent with what we see in other fields like education, leadership, management. It is really coherent. It's something that I wouldn't say it's trending, but it's a sort of path that we see.
Mhm.
Do you see women playing other roles in legal professions now in the future? Where would you see this going?
I think it's really interesting because um, during my studies, there were more female students than men. So yeah, I think there will be more and more women in the yeah, as a professional in the legal system. But where there are more women is in the judge, actually. The judges. I don't know if I understood the question.
Where do you see women in the future? Do you think they're going to be more represented? Do you think there's going to be a shift? Would you wish something that's
I
happening?
wish there would be more, chief and manage more. I wish they will have more, for example, law firms, you know. So, but they are here. Women are here, and there will be more and more women. I'm sure. I am sure
Women
because
are here and they're here to stay.
exactly. That's it. They are here and
And
they're here to stay. And yeah, they are coming. We are more and more. I can see that because in the past, um, be not an attorney or a lawyer was for male, for men. So we can see, the evolution for in this professional area. But yeah, I wish there will be, yeah, they will have more law firms, and not just be our collaborators, but to be them. How can we say associate? So associates maybe, and I don't know the terms. In because in USA, UK, they have another term,
yeah,
but
like partners, management.
yes, partner. Thank
Yeah,
you. That's
something
what
like that.
I was looking for. That. Thank you. I wish there will be more women, more attorneys as partners, because it will make a difference. They will, I hope, employ more, women also, and not just as assistants. So yeah, I think yeah.
Since you were talking about how originally it was more of a male institution, all of that, how did you approach to study law? What motivated you?
Beautiful question. I think, first of all, I wanted to, as I told you, to save the world. I am from my father is from Nigeria, and my parents are from Africa, and they told me, every um, injustice that people live in Africa. So I was like, I want to change that. I don't like war. I want peace in the world. I want everyone to be happy, me as a child. So, and for me, the law, justice was a solution. So that's why I wanted to become a lawyer and then a judge. But we will see. This is for the future. And also because I have to say, I have an auntie. My auntie is a lawyer, an attorney here in Switzerland. And I said to myself, okay, if she can become an attorney, I can do that also. So she made a way for me. She was like a model for me, even if we are not really closer, but just to know that I have an auntie, a black woman, can be a lawyer, and she owns her law firm. When I was a child, I was like, okay, this is amazing, this is possible, I can do it. So yeah, that's why.
It is so important to have models in, I suppose, in your case, but there are more and more people that are saying, I don't feel represented, there's not enough roles. I can just bring you the example of, for example, coding and the tech industry. There is very little representation of women inside the industry.
Mhm.
So the more models and the more we can spread the world that there is something going on and that it can
Yes.
inspire other people, that is, I feel like it's so, so important. We were talking about models and representation. And do you believe that there could be some affirmative action or some quotas put in place to increase the representation of women in the legal profession? Do you believe in quotas? Yes or no?
Mm, I don't like it, but I think it can be a key, a solution. Quotas, um, it's sad, you have to have quotas, to have all this representation, and this is sad. It has to be natural, instinctively, but it's not really possible in this world. So I think quotas will be a solution. And this is hard because I also always ask myself, okay, if I work here, maybe it's because I'm a Black woman and they needed that, in their department, in their sector. So it's not easy, but yeah, I'm here, and I think that I can me also become and be a model for my sisters behind me, So yeah, yeah, I think
For
so.
sure. But I think that it's also a really nasty feeling when you feel like you're there just because they needed
Yeah.
to fill up a spot. And at the
Mhm.
same time, I see maybe in other sectors such as politics that people say, oh, there's a woman in the specific party just because they needed to put one. You see, it's not really, it could be both a feeling of I feel like I'm not wanted, but at the same time, I'm not taken seriously because, there's a quota and they're just gonna put somebody there.
Yes, and then you have to prove, that you are able. You have to prove more, so you have to work harder. You have to, and this is so. No, this is really not easy. And I try to tell myself, no, okay, they hired me because um I'm good. I am good at what I'm doing. And I think they prove it to me, my chief, they are really, really great. So yeah, I think those are lies, that you have in your head, but I have to me myself I have to fight against those lies, thoughts. And but this of course the society put a pressure but we have to fight against that. And yeah, I said it was a solution, but I know I'm not okay with that. uh so I'm not okay with that. Is no, quotas are not a solution. You need to hire a woman because of what they are doing, because of what they have, because of their who they are, and not just because they are women. And we need to prove that, oh yeah, we a high woman, oh yeah, we have a good corporate culture. No, you have to hire women just because they are able, they are smart, and they can do the job. That's it.
For sure, I totally agree with what you're saying. It's just a sort of mental shift, I think, that we should start doing, that women are just
Yes.
not there because they need to be there. But we have value, we add value. Hello.
Yeah.
Diversity, it's scientifically proven to help bring better solutions, more ideas. So the more diverse you are lucky to be, the better the results will be as well for the society as a whole. But since we were talking about all of this, do you think that the men can play a role in fighting gender equality?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have to work, how do we say, hand by hand, main dans la main. We have to work together. If they don't change their mind, they don't um yeah, how it will not change. So they have their role. They have to do to hire also more women in business law. They have to teach their daughter, okay, you can become a judge, you can become a lawyer. They have to support women. And yes, it's not just us as a woman. If not, I don't know, it will go nowhere. No, we have to work all together, all the society, women and men. We have to be together and find solutions together, I think. Yeah.
Specifically talking about the legal system, do you think they could play also a role in how gender equality is portrayed today?
Okay, maybe I have, for example, I have an example. but I don't know how to translate that in English because it's really a French
Well,
um
you can tell me in French. We'll try to find a
okay.
translation.
Because for example, when a lawyer addresses a female lawyer, he or she should say consoeur. And but some more traditional lawyers, men, are quite hostile, I would say, adverse to the feminization of titles and functions. So maybe just to start with that, when you as a male lawyer, you address to a female lawyer, call her consoeur, and not confrère. It's just a little, it's a little step, but then we can see, okay, you respect the feminization, sorry, of the functions, the feminization of lawyers and attorneys, and this is a step forward, So just steps like that. That okay, I respect you are my equal, and you are able, you can be a good attorney. It's not just because you are a woman that you have emotions and you have that and you have feelings and you cannot work perfectly as an attorney. No, no, no. Okay, just we are equals and respect that. And I think, yeah, this is a way, to improve and to yeah, it's a solution as a male to for women, so
For
I
sure.
think it is a step, a little step, but it's a step.
Just for our listener that don't speak French at all, we were
Yeah.
talking about the difference between the word confrère and consoeur,
Mhm.
which are the two titles that are given to attorneys when they speak to each other. It's like colleagues, but it's gender defined.
Yeah.
So what Axelle is doing, correct me if I'm wrong, is that he used to just say confrère. So like um colleague that's a male that has also inside the word brother, confrère,
Mhm.
and they are starting to use the word for addressing the female partner,
Mhm.
consoeur, which
Mhm.
is the word partner and sister combined.
Mhm.
So this is what you were saying. Some
Yes.
older attorneys are a bit rusty and a bit reluctant to do the
Mhm.
switch,
Mhm.
which is something that we see in other parts of society as well. It's nothing new.
Mhm.
But this brings us directly to the question that I wanted to ask you now. That is about language and terminology.
Mm.
Do you think that there are some parts of the legal system that particularly relates to women when it talks when it's about terminology and law?
Hmm. Actually, it this was the example, but there aren't really any in particular because, or maybe you have find something, but I cannot remember because I think in the law, for example, in codes, civil codes, or it's really a male gender, you know, language. Like you will not say uh this is really also a French trick, so I don't know how to translate in English, but you don't say celle qui ou la mandataire, you say
Okay.
le mandataire or celui qui, there is not a feminism, not a female, representation in the
Yeah,
language.
you're saying that specifically in the language in French that
Mhm.
you're proficient in,
Yeah.
the law is not gender neutral. It's more genderized toward the male, and it has to adapt also to the female. Basically, they don't use like maybe I'm not sure, but maybe they could use it in English. They could use just the plural form and use it the neutral way. Instead, here it's still talking about male and it should apply also to female. There is not the double gender either.
Exactly.
In your practice, do you see people actively working towards using both genders when they speak, or it's something that you don't find at all?
You know why? You know what? It's not easy because my colleagues and chiefs and the prosecutors are German speak. They speak German, Swiss Germans. Oh, sometimes they made some mistake when they speak to me because I work in Bern. So maybe my experience in Geneva. Let's go back to Geneva, and I will check because in Bern it's not easy to find. In Geneva, for example, when you want to talk to okay, a client want to talk to her or his attorney, he has to say met,
Okay.
and met it's for women and men. You know,
It's like master, right? In English, something
but
like
you
that.
don't say that in USA, or you never say, "Oh, master, can you help me with this case?" You don't say that.
Yeah,
It's master is law, we say slavery, and so we don't say that. But in in Geneva, in France also, you say maître. So this is for women and men. So I cannot really feel something different. Maybe some clients are more confident with women as attorneys, but once again, it depends on the areas of law, and it depends, of course, of the client, of the person. But I didn't experience that. What was surprising to me is more, um, yeah, that assistants, secretaries, and all that are more women than men, and so it's more difficult when men as work sorry as assistants, um to be recognized, you know and maybe when we clients addressed to them, they are like, "Oh, you are the lawyer, or you are the attorney." They don't think that they are assistants, secretary, of the law firm, so I don't know if it's
yeah,
clear.
for
I know
sure. It's kind of like the opposite of what we would see in the situation of a woman, that she's the lawyer and she's addressed like the secretary. In that case, you are the assistant, and you are addressed as the lawyer.
Mhm.
Crazy how table turns. Too bad that it's always the woman that is diminished and the man is uplifted.
Yeah. Surprise.
It's okay. This was just I like to be a little bit provocative sometimes.
But it will change. And I think I can see some, improvements already. So it's coming. Yeah, sometimes we are tired, but it's coming. So we have
For
to
sure.
continue. Yeah, yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, since you mentioned you work in Bern. Bern, if
Mhm.
I'm not mistaken, is Swiss German. Do you speak Swiss German? Do you practice in Swiss German?
Actually, I practice in French. I have a prosecutor working sorry with me. Oh, I work with a prosecutor, and we are working on French cases, only French cases, because it's a bilingual canton,
Yeah.
bilingual sorry states. It's the capital of Switzerland, so everyone can talk his language, her language. So if I am a French speaker, yeah, French speaker, I speak in French. And if you are a Swiss German speaker, you can answer to me in your language. So German, Swiss German. So
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
really interesting. But we only work on French cases. There are lots, so we have our job. And some of our the other colleagues or chiefs or prosecutors, actually they are okay. They are more Swiss German speakers than French speaker. So I mean, when it's a coffee, we want to drink coffee to discuss together. I do not really speak French. We have to speak German. So yeah, it depends. But I work on French, cases. So I practice in French. Mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
And just to do a little part for people who don't know Switzerland.
yeah.
Switzerland is a country that has four national languages. It's not Sweden, it's Switzerland. It's the one with the red and white cross.
Mhm.
And what languages do they speak in Switzerland?
So they speak Italian or Swiss Italian, German or Swiss German, French, and Romanche. Yes.
The Romansh is always so confusing to me,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's a beautiful language. I just never listened to anyone speak it. I never got the opportunity.
Yeah. I think it's a mix of everything. It's a mix of, German, French, maybe Latin,
Yeah.
so but yeah, it's really but not a lot of people speak Romanche, but it does exist actually. So
Let's try to maintain it living. Let's not drop it like all of the
yes,
other
yes.
dialects that are being lost. Since you're here and you're from Nigeria, I think it's also really interesting to try and merge what's about race. I know it can be a very touchy subject, so if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, you can tell me. But I would like you to tell me the intersectionality that you may find with feminism and race in your practice and in your day-to-day life.
It's for me, it's not a problem to talk about this because I think as I told you before, it's so important. And more we are talking about this, more people will learn, and things will change. I hope. So I think there are similarities in race and feminism. But here too, with race, the problem is one of representation and visibility for these racialized women. I am a black woman lawyer and no trainee. No, sorry, I'm not yet, but I will become a lawyer. And I have the feeling, even though it saddens me, and shouldn't be the case, that I have to do not only more than men, but also more than racialized Caucasian white women. So it's indeed a lot. It's a lot for me. The sentence is heavier for me and my fellow human beings. So we have to prove that we are smart. We have to prove that we are good lawyers and we have to do our best. So yes, race and feminism are, I think, different battles, but there are so many similarities because there are minorities. For example, in hierarchies. I don't know if I pronounce good. There are minorities. I've seen black women, lawyers and judges in Bern, for example, and elsewhere in Switzerland, and they are very inspiring women, and they made, as I told you before, a way for us, and they made a way for me. So yeah, we need to be more represent and we have to trust, I will say our guts, but sorry, it's not good.
It's okay. It's the gut feeling is totally relevant. Fun fact: we do have some sort of neurons in our stomachs, so that's why sometimes we say the thing with our belly. But move on. Sorry.
We have to be there, and yeah, it's not because I am a black woman that I cannot work as a lawyer, that I cannot work as a judge in Switzerland. no, I can do this. So yeah, we have to be there and trust. I have to trust. I would say to me, I have to trust in myself, and that yes, I am able, and everything is possible. That's it.
For sure. It's really important to keep a positive mindset as well, I think, because if we just start thinking that everything goes against us, at the end of the day, it's just eventually gonna go against us.
Mhm.
And do you think, I don't know if this is in your sphere of activity,
Mhm.
but how would you approach, how do you think the legal system would approach maybe a victim of gender-based violence, that can be any form of gender-based violence, that is also an immigrant? Is there a way to ensure that that person is not re-traumatized? She already has been a victim of abuse. How can we ensure that she's not even more abused?
Hmm. You said, for example, if a client, you know,
Yes, yes,
is a victim because
yes,
everything has
exactly.
been presented, so it's a client,
Exactly.
not a lawyer.
Exactly. Sorry.
So, for example, a client violated a victim, and as an immigrant also. How?
Wait, I'll make an example that is really
Yeah.
clear, maybe a bit
Mhm.
graphic. Let's assume that you have to represent somebody that has you or whoever. Since you
Mhm.
told me it's you're more in economic law, I don't think maybe it can
Not
happen,
now,
but
but it will change. So don't worry. Huh? I
uh,
understand.
let's say that maybe you end up with a woman that has been raped or has been victim of violence, domestic abuse, whatever, and she's also an immigrant. Do you think that there's a system to ensure that she's not re-traumatized by the fact that she's gonna be seen as an immigrant other than a victim of abuse?
This is a beautiful question. Um, and hmm, this is a good question. I try to remember because when I was a student, I was a legal consultant, as you know. So, and we had some people from other countries, so foreigners, and they had some of them were victims. So I tried to think how we addressed this those situations. Actually, I would say, but for me, it's not. I'm not really objective because of my race, because of my story. But I will say that as a lawyer, you have a job, and no matter who are your clients, no matter who are people who come to your law firm, and you need to represent them, no matter who, because it's your job, and you have to do the job, and you have to represent them, and their rights have to be protected. Their rights have to be um, defended. Yeah. So I think it doesn't really change, of course, the way to the arguments, the way to argue when we go to the courts, for example, it will be different, because of his or her immigration, sorry, story, and background. It will be different because we'll use actually the fact that, okay, these people, he doesn't live or she doesn't live, she's not from here, sorry, she has this story, she has to go through all these, maybe sometimes it's horrible stories. Foreigners have immigration law, you can find and hear so awful stories. So sometimes it even helps, the lawyers to defend the victim. So no, I think everyone has the right to be represented, has the right to find help, and I cannot really see. Yeah, maybe an attorney will not help. He doesn't want because, for example, it's really extreme, but he's racist and he doesn't want to help foreigners. Or no, he doesn't. So maybe yeah, though it happens, but he will lose money because he's also a client. But I cannot. I do not see ways. I do not see things like that. Okay, it's not client and not dollars or money
No,
for
for
me.
sure. Nobody's thinking that, don't worry.
But it's a job. It's like a doctor. You don't want to have an immigrant person. It's for me. It's mad. It has no sense. You have our job. You have a work. You have this certification for that. So just do your job, and that's it.
Exactly. But on this point, I would like to ask you, how do you make sure that maybe, if you have some, everybody does, you- your own biases do not interfere with your ability to make impartial decisions?
As a magistrate, because a prosecutor is a magistrate, but I will not explain that; it will be too long.
No problem.
But uh, a magistrate has a duty to make impartial decisions. Uh, yeah, impartial decisions. So he's obliged to do so by law, and he's impartial precisely because of the law. you know so the law is applied and the law enables decisions to be made. you know but but also justice and the law are not an exact science, and public opinion often fails to understand this. Is true. So decisions, are made on case by case basis, based on an analysis of the individual situation of the accused or defendant. So, but the law guides legal practitioners in their decisions making and in applying it. And it is really, I think it's difficult to fall into the trap of bias because of the law. But yeah, but it's not easy. The question is so hard. Of course, if a black woman, a victim comes in my law firm, uh, I think I will be, yeah, it will really, really, really touch me, and I will kill me at work, to help her. I think it's true because I can, relate to her. So of course it's true. I have to be, yeah, it's true. But I have to respect the law. If I do not respect the law, then it will be a problem. It will be problematic. So I have my own background. I have my own I would say, yeah, baggage, but I have my own background. But I have to respect and to put this background, I would say, in the structure of the law. You know, I have to respect that. Mhm.
For sure. But also, have you ever witnessed something that made you think, oh, I think that this is correct, but the law is telling me that I should be doing something else. Do you have ever experienced something like that?
Yes, of course. Yes, and but this is also the beauty, the beauty of the law, because with this kind of thoughts, you help to improve the law. The law will change with the society. Sometimes a lot of times it's really, really law is really late, regarding the society. So sometimes the law has to catch up.
Oh,
But
for sure. We think of the artificial intelligence right now on how people
yeah.
have to. Oh.
Oh my God.
It's true that we often forget that law, it's not science. It's not
Mhm.
1 + 1 = 2.
Exactly. And
So
this is the
sorry,
beauty
I
of
cut
the
you off.
law. So yeah, when it happens to me, I have to explain my opinion to the judge. For example, as an attorney, I have to explain how I think that how I estimate the law, not estimate, but how I interpret the law. I have to explain that to the judge, and maybe he will be convinced, you know, and then he will make a decision, and this will change the law, because the decision of a judge we have in Switzerland, we have to apply. Also the way that the judge, sorry, interpret the law. Maybe the law say ABC, and the judge say, okay, but it's ABC, but we will apply more like DEL. And then we have all to apply as the judge say, DEL. So it will maybe have to change the law. So you as a lawyer, as an attorney, yes, you have to respect the law, but you have to also to interpret, to know how to apply it on the case. It's, as I told you, it's really case by case. And then explain your opinion, your thesis, I will say, to the judge, and then he will accept it or not. And then, yeah, if the judge say no, it's not like that, then that's it. The law is the law. The law is the law, and this is justice.
For sure. But yeah, it's really interesting also to think that um, maybe once the judge has deliberated something, that's it. Either you try to fight the idea, go again with legal cases, but that's it. And sometimes maybe you don't like the answer, and it happens more often than we think. But
Mhm.
before you mentioned immigration law, etc., etc., etc. And I do have a question here that says, how do issues related to feminism and the patriarchy, do you think they intersect with other areas of the law, such as family law or immigration law?
Hmm. This is good. I always say, you have really good questions. Your questions are wonderful, for real. Um. Okay, laws like family law or immigration law, sometimes I have to say it benefits women more than men. But that's because they need more women. They need more protection, precisely because of this society, because of patriarchy. And for example, it's recognized that there are grounds for asylum specific to women, and that their particular situation must be taken into account. And this focus on prejudices suffered by women, particularly of a sexual nature, and is justified by the crest for the de facto equality. So the differentiations, sorry.
I would say the differentiation, maybe.
Yes, thank
I
you.
don't know if it exists.
Yes, is the good word, made in the field of integration and asylum by providing for situations specific to women, is justified by the aim of to achieve substantive equality between women and men, for example. And for family law, yeah, it really depends on the area of law. It's true, but um, I have examples where men are also less protected by law. Okay, let's go back to criminal law. For example, rape, as defined in the criminal law code in Switzerland, covers only the sexual acts committed on a woman. You see? And also in the field of family law, for example, or divorce law, the father's rights in Switzerland are worse than those two of the mother. You know, the same the same applies, for example, to paternity leave. You know, compared with maternity leave. You know, women are have more. It benefits more for women, but of course they they have it's different. But however, the trend is changing as we live in, you know, in a society where men are, I would say, more taking care of their children and home. This is more recognized, you know, by the society and by the law, particularly in the legal system. So it will change, but it takes time, you know. So yeah, that's this is an example. It
For
benefits
sure.
more women than men.
You actually have an answer to another question I would have asked you otherwise if the legal system was in some way biased against men. So there are some cases where the law tries to be more profitable for women than men. And
Yeah.
that should change because there are things that happen also to men that shouldn't be taken lightly. Like you were saying, for example, sexual abuse.
Mhm.
And in other cases, it defavorites men because they have other privileges in society generally recognized. So it's a balance. It's an exact science. We need to recognize where it's wrong and where it's right. And luckily, we have people like you that are trying to to change the world and have a positive impact.
I hope so. But sometimes there are law that benefits men more than women. For example, in labor law or in social insurance law. But I will not go further because it will be long lessons, long classes, and it will be too long. But of course, it exists also, you know, laws that benefits more men. We have also to remember that. And those are real problems.
No,
So
but
yeah.
please, if you have examples, that it would
Oh,
be super cool.
but I will say, for example, the age for the retirement. Yeah. Um all of that, it doesn't really benefit women. Because we in labor law and social insurance law, we um we do not um we do not see and observe how the women work, as I told you before at the beginning of the podcast, how women work at home. And it's a lot. It's really a lot. And we do not in the law we cannot really see that. And it has to change because then woman has to do more. And then, I mean, this is not a life to live. This is not, it's, you just suffer, you know, you work, and you don't see the
The
benefits.
benefits. Yeah.
Yes. So it has to change. And this is, for example, yeah, this is a little example, but um I hope it will change. For that, I don't know, because it's here from since a long time. And people talk about this, but I will say it's not, how can I say that, it's not really the system legal the problem, because there is the separation of powers. It's the legislative, you know, who has to change that. And legislative are also the population, people in Switzerland, because we are in a democracy and people have to vote, you know. So this is not because of the attorney, of the judge, or no, it's really a legislation, the legislative power, you know, that has to change and has to
For sure.
improve. You see what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not necessarily the attorneys that are applying the law. It's
yeah,
how it's
who
written.
made the
That,
law? You know, who made
yeah,
the law?
eh,
Who makes the law? So that's what
exactly.
I mean.
Oh, Axel, we talked about so many things. I have one last question for you. It's a more of a broader one on your opinions. And how would you respond to people who argue that feminism, the fight for gender equality, has gone too far?
Has gone too far. No. Sorry, but um no, I think it's no, it no, we have to do more. We have to fight more. It has not gone too far for me. And actually, there are some I don't find the word les trous. We thank you. So we miss some things. And okay, we can see, as I told you, the evolution, but we are not there yet. There are so many um, uh, steps. Yeah, we have so many things to reach to. So it didn't go too far, and it has to go further, actually. you know. So um, I think I told you before that we need to work with men hand by hand, main dans la main together. But also it's important that as women we must not limit ourselves. We must dare. We must dare to dream big. You must dare to dream big and not say to yourself, oh, this is for men and that's for men. No, do what you want. Only you are your own limit. So I think it's time to get started. And I'm glad because I think with this generation, things are going to move. And things are moving. It takes time, but it's it's time to get started. And as women, you can do all things. You can become a judge if you want. You can become the judge of an international court. You can, you can become a great lawyers and have 4 children if whatever you are able. I know it's not easy, but I am making the way. I try, okay? Women are in a way. The older generations also, they work hard for us. So it's not time to just say, it's too hard. We go too far. No, 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 no. Let's go, girls. Let's go, women. And trust in yourself. And only you are your own limits. I will say that. Mhm.
So, I would like you, Axel, to thank you so much. This has been such a precious conversation. It really inspired me to also keep going and to try my best. And it was wonderful. I really, really want to thank you. I'm sure my listeners now are feeling as motivated as I do. At least I hope. That is all for now. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Axel, for being here again.
Thank you.
As usual, we'll see each other on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and now also Facebook. And as usual, keep the conversation going. We'll see each other next week and see you super soon. Bye!
Bye bye.